Hi, howdy, hello. Welcome to the Fit and Free Show with me. I'm ZGALA, the Art Angel. This is the Head Hutt, which I built myself with these hands. And I am going to do my 100 any reps right side up today. I often do them standing on my head, but as you can hear, I'm dealing with a sinus infection left over from a head cold. And so I thought I would share that with you in the hopes that I can inspire you to move your body a little bit one way or another, and just remind you that there's not one way. There's infinite ways, really, to move your body, to check in with yourself, to get a little more fit, a little more free, a little stronger, a little more flexible, all of those things. So I've been working on my snowboarding preparation, starting to work on it. I haven't worked on it much this week, truth be told. I slacked off a lot. Head rush because of aforementioned head cold. Nonetheless, there's no time like the present, always to just do it now, right? That's one of my main mantras. Do the best you can with what you have from where you are right now. So, I'm going to actually start in a straddle position today for a little variation. Start with a little warming the hips up, just doing what I call these hip dips. I think I call these hip dips. They probably have a different name. Anyway, if you put your hands on your waist and then you come down a little further and you look for those hip bones in the front, and then you're going to tip those. For me, that brings a stretch into the inner thigh. Kind of make sure you listen to your own body. Let's do a couple other little hip stretches here just to point out the variety. So stepping back to where the feet are closer to shoulder width apart, and then let's slide the hips over. So keeping the hands on those hip eyes, and try to slide them over, keeping them relatively on the same plane. Like bend the leg of the side you're going over to, and slide them over the other way. Of course, it doesn't have to be perfect because there's no such thing, but trying to slide them over in the same plane, for me that brings a stretch very, very distinctly up into the hip socket a little bit more. If you wanted to, you could kind of tuck the tailbone under this way a little bit as you're doing that. Protect the lower back, and also just help yourself engage the abdominal muscles a little bit more as you do that hip slide. You can move your hands around like I'm doing, kind of feel how that is in different parts of the body. And then for contrast, let's do that back and forth with the feet a little, or the dip rather, slanting one way or the other. With the feet closer together, I'm bending one knee to get that slant. Can start to do a little figure eight. It's a nice stretch. Let's bring the feet together and do a little pushing into that hip. That's a nice stretch. Make sure, again, you're mindful of your own body. I like to kind of circle that around, push into different parts of that. That feels really good for me in the glute muscles, in the butt, and through that hip socket. Again, be very mindful and listen to your own body. Come over to the other side and just kind of explore that range of motion there. Stretch out that hip socket. All right, so now that we've stretched them out a little bit, let's come back into that straddle position, and let's do just a moderate lunge over to one side, to the left and to the right, bending the right knee. I'm keeping my feet right now facing forward, so in a wide parallel stance, and I'm just exploring that, kind of lengthening that lunge a little bit as I explore it. Coming to one side and then the other. And now I'm going to shift the toes to one direction. So I'm going to go over to the left. I'm going to kick that back heel out a little bit, or pull the toes forward. So now everybody's facing this way more or less. My back foot is actually at about a 45-degree angle. Look for whatever's comfortable for you. I'm gonna just come into that lunge. Let's do like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, maybe get a little deeper on those, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe coming all the way down into that for a nice deep lunge. I'm going to shift onto that back toe, coming all the way into that lunge on this side. Bringing my hands down on either side of that front leg for some support. And then I'm going to pull that back foot forward just a little bit so I can push into that heel and straighten that front leg. Aiming my chin for my toes, just draping the upper body over that lower body, getting a nice stretch through that leg. That feels good, but it's stuffing up my head, so I'm going to come back through center, shifting my feet, and then shift them the other way, walking the hands over there this time. And let's start off this time in that deep lunge on this other side, just for variation. Coming into a deep supported lunge, pushing into that back heel, and then I'm gonna straighten that front leg, pulling those hips onto the perpendicular line, draping the upper body over the lower body, aiming my chin for my toes, supporting my weight a little bit on either side of that front leg with the hands for balance. Still working to pull those hips onto the perpendicular line. And then let's come into that little bit higher lunge. And then I'm going to shift that back heel onto that 45-degree angle. Find a nice stable position, maybe bring it in just a little bit. And then I'm going to do that side lunge. How about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Disco. To do a little extra one. Let's walk those feet back just a little bit more and come back over to this side. A little bit less wide stance. Bringing the hips onto the perpendicular line again. This time I'm going to do, I think sometimes they're called Bulgarian dips or some fancy thing, or lunges. It's called like dip lunges. I don't know, whatever they're called. Gonna look for about a 90-degree angle with that back leg and with that front leg. And then straighten them back out. Trying to keep the tailbone tucked under, the hips on the perpendicular line, the feet on the parallel line. And we'll go from 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, shifting the feet. It's a good time to remind you that it's okay to use a wall or something for support if you need it. Always do what you need to do to be safe and feel secure and within your, push like 4% past your comfort level, but not too far. Don't fall over is what I'm trying to say. Pulling the hips onto that perpendicular line. Looking for that moderate lunge on this side. On about a 90-degree angle. And we'll do 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Disco. All right, what are we up to? 60, I think. So we got 40 more. Let's do a little bit of easy calf raising just to demonstrate some variety and sort of take a little bit of a break there. These are nice and easy. I'm just, I don't know if you can see in the camera there. So I'm coming up on the toes. And right now I just got my feet parallel and about hip width apart, but you can vary up where you put the feet. You could do it on a stair if you want to make it more challenging. You could do it on one foot, makes it more challenging. This is relatively passive. Sometimes I do this when I'm at my standing desk or brushing my teeth or standing at the stove or the sink, standing in line. Just in Chinese medicine they call the calf the second heart. So pumping the calf helps return the blood flow to the heart. It's actually might be better for you than you think. I'm guessing we've already done at least 10, so I'm gonna do, let's just do 30 more. Wrap it up here. 29, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 20. I'm going to move my feet a little bit. Cat the toes outward to change it up. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Disco. There you have it. I'm going to shake that out a little bit. That squeaky board. Do just a little bit of stretching if I can find my balance. And remind you again, there's not one way to check in with yourself, and you don't need a special outfit or to brush your hair even. There's nothing wrong with special outfits or hair brushing. Not trying to discourage that. I'm just trying to say, check in with yourself every day. Your body's the one thing you can't live without. You're worth it. Give yourself a little time, and if you think you don't have time, then make it a priority and start from where you are. Give yourself a little bit, if that's all you think you got, and then add a little bit more. It gets easier with practice, like anything. There you have some unsolicited advice from your Aunt Angel. Let me know what you think. I try to respond to all my comments. I appreciate them all. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I appreciate you being you and letting me be me. That 100 any reps that I just did, that was on the long side there. The whole point of that challenge is to demonstrate you can make it harder or less hard. It could be quick or it could take a while. It's really up to you. It's fully customizable, so I encourage you to check it out. Sign up for my email list. Check out the book on the Head Hutt if you're interested. What else am I forgetting? Have a great day. Ciao for now. Peace.